After the death of Sarah, Abraham's tent felt different. The laughter was quieter. The mornings were slower. The familiar voice that once filled the home with wisdom and warmth was gone. Every corner of the tent reminded Abraham of the years he had shared with his beloved wife. Though Abraham trusted God, his heart still felt the weight of loss. Isaac, the promised son, had grown into a young man. He was strong, gentle, and faithful, yet there was a silence in him. Abraham watched Isaac closely. He noticed how his son would wander alone in the fields, how his eyes often carried a quiet sadness. Isaac had lost his mother, and with her passing, loneliness had found a place in his heart. Abraham knew Isaac needed more than comfort. He needed companionship. He needed a wife, someone who would understand his heart, support his faith, and walk beside him through life. But Abraham was not only thinking about Isaac's happiness, he was thinking about the future God had promised. He was thinking about generations yet to come. The land around them was filled with people who worshipped idols. Abraham had seen how easily hearts could be led away from God. He knew that if Isaac married someone who did not know the Lord, their family could slowly drift from the path of faith. Abraham had walked with God for many years, through promises, waiting, miracles, and tests. He understood that choosing a life partner was not just about love, but about faith. So Abraham made a careful decision. He called for his most trusted servant, Eliezer. Eliezer was not just a servant. He was a steward of Abraham's household, a man who had watched God work in Abraham's life for decades. He had seen God's faithfulness firsthand. Abraham trusted Eliezer with his wealth, his flocks, and now the future of his son. With a serious and gentle voice, Abraham spoke to Eliezer. He told him to travel far away, back to his relatives in Haran. There, among people who worshiped the true God, Eliezer was to find a wife for Isaac. Abraham assured him that this journey would not be made alone. He said, "The Lord will send his angel ahead of you. He will guide you." Eliezer listened carefully. He understood the weight of the task. This was not just about finding a woman. It was about obedience, faith, and God's promise continuing through Isaac. Eliezer agreed, trusting the God Abraham served. The preparations began. 10 strong camels were chosen, capable of carrying heavy loads across long distances. They were loaded with precious gifts, silver, gold, and fine clothing. These gifts represented honor, respect, and Abraham's goodwill. As the caravan set out, dust rose beneath their feet, and the long road stretched ahead. Day after day, they traveled through dry land and open plains. The sun was hot, the nights were cold, and the journey was slow. Each evening, Eliezer looked up at the sky filled with stars. He remembered the promise God had made to Abraham, that his descendants would be as numerous as those stars. Eliezer prayed often, asking God to guide him, to make the right path clear, and to prepare the heart of the woman chosen for Isaac. At last, after many days, Eliezer reached the city of Haran. As evening approached, he stopped at a well just outside the city. It was a place of gathering, a place where life met daily routine. Women would soon come to draw water. Eliezer felt that this moment mattered greatly. Everything could change here. Standing beside the well, Eliezer felt both hope and humility. How could he know who the right woman was? Beauty alone was not enough. Words alone were not enough. He needed God's wisdom. So Eliezer prayed quietly but sincerely. He asked God for guidance, not to demand a sign, but to trust him fully. He prayed that the chosen woman would show kindness, humility, and a servant's heart. He asked that she would offer water not only to him, but also to his camels. Before Eliezer had finished praying in his heart, a young woman approached the well. She carried a pitcher on her shoulder.
Can you give
Her
me some
movements
water?
were gentle, her presence calm. Eliezer watched her closely, sensing something special in her demeanor. He stepped forward and asked politely for a drink of water. Without hesitation, she lowered her pitcher and said, "Drink, my lord." Then she spoke the very words Eliezer had prayed for. "I will draw water for your camels also." Camels drink a great amount of water, yet the young woman worked willingly. She drew water again and again, without complaint or delay. Eliezer stood in silence, his heart filled with awe. Every movement confirmed what his spirit already knew. God had answered his prayer. When she finished, Eliezer bowed his head right there at the well and worshiped the Lord. His eyes filled with tears as he thanked God for his faithfulness. He gave the young woman gifts and asked her name. When she told him she was Rebekah and that she was from Abraham's family, Eliezer knew without doubt that God had gone before him. Rebekah invited Eliezer to her home. That evening, Eliezer shared everything with her family: Abraham's journey, God's promises, the prayer at the well, and how Rebekah had fulfilled it exactly. As they listened, they realized this was not coincidence. This was God's hand at work. The family agreed that Rebekah should become Isaac's wife. The next morning, Eliezer prepared to leave. Rebekah was asked if she was willing to go. Leaving her family and homeland would not be easy. It meant stepping into the unknown. Yet with courage and faith, Rebekah said, "I will go." As Rebekah rode away on the camel, her family blessed her. Her heart was filled with mixed emotions: sadness, hope, and trust in God. Back in Canaan, Isaac was walking in the fields near evening. He was praying, reflecting on God's goodness, and perhaps thinking of his mother. When he looked up, he saw camels approaching in the distance. Rebekah also lifted her eyes and saw Isaac. She covered herself with a veil, showing respect and humility. Eliezer told Isaac everything, every prayer, every sign, every step of God's guidance. Isaac listened carefully and understood that God himself had chosen Rebekah. Isaac took Rebekah into his mother Sarah's tent, and she became his wife. The Bible tells us that Isaac loved her deeply. She comforted him in his grief, and together they built a life rooted in faith and obedience. This story reminds us that God hears prayers spoken quietly, prayers spoken with faith, and prayers spoken in waiting. He guides journeys, prepares hearts, and brings people together in His perfect time. When we trust Him, even the longest journey finds its meaning in the end. If this story touched your heart and you want more Bible stories like this, type AMEN and subscribe for more.